Hi everybody, it's Cindy from Pure Simple Photoshop. I just wanted to talk a little bit today about something a bit different. I'm going to talk about something in Lightroom today. If you haven't been using this, it is a really great feature, but I wanted to show how it works and also something new that I've discovered that they've added into one of the more recent updates in Lightroom. So what Publish Services is basically a way to export files and do it the same way every single time, but also keep track of what files you have exported. So for example, you can set it up to do a variety of different things. I have some publishing services that I use for onto my hard drive, into a specific folder in my hard drive. That particular folder I use when I'm uploading into Pass. There is a plugin you can use that goes directly into Pixieset. And to give you an idea what this does, I'll just pull up this client. So each one of these little folders in here are collections. Inside each of these, this is a set, and the little ones underneath are called collections, so you can create a collection. Each collection underneath a set, you can add photos to. And so in this case, this is a set of photos that I did for a session. And all of my photos, as I finish editing them, I add them into the set. It's not moving the photos, it's just actually referencing them. Sort of think of it like a virtual copy, where I can see the edit, I can see all of the files that I'm going to be putting up to Pixieset, and I can see them all at once. The other thing that's interesting is I can then just hit publish, and that will upload all of my files that I want to put into Pixieset or whatever I'm uploading to, and it puts them in there. Now, if for some reason I go and I change something, you can see that there's a file here that says modified photo to republish. I have updated this photo in some way since I published it to Pixieset. I actually did it about 5 minutes ago. I changed something just so we could see it. If I wanted to, I could then click publish again, and it would take this photo and replace the one that's already on Pixieset with that photo. Now, which is really useful. The thing that I really like about this is it's a really good visual of all of the photos that I exported for any particular use. So these are all the photos that I am uploading to Pixieset for this client, and I have a permanent record of what those photos are using the plugin. Now, for me, that's really useful. Now, if you're not shooting for clients, maybe you don't use Pixieset, that's great. But there's also ones for Facebook. And it's the Facebook one. I'm going to set it up today, and I'm going to show you exactly how to set it up and make it work. For Facebook, you can set up different albums. These collections here, the same as they did on the other one, can link to a particular album in Facebook. So these are all the photos that I put in. This is Christmas of 2015. These are the photos I uploaded to Facebook for Christmas of 2015. And I have a record of what these photos are. Now, they're all popping into the republish because I changed something about the photos recently. I added a different watermark, and so it's telling me I need to republish them all, but whatever. I'm not going to. I have the option to or not to, which is kind of nice. So this is what I'm going to just show you how to set up. Now, I really think that these publishing widgets are awesome. There are a couple ones that you can get that you can download from outside of Adobe. This one that I have here for Instagram is useful. The only thing I'm not really loving it, but the one that I really am loving is this widget, which is one that syncs to my WordPress and Lightroom. This one is is being really good, and I really love it. And I am using it quite a bit now to add more images into my blog postings. And this is going to make blogging for my businesses a lot easier. So I'm really loving this one. However, let's show you how to set it up for Facebook. So Facebook is actually the widget is already there in your file in Lightroom. It comes automatically. You just have to go to Plugin Manager, and you will get this Plugin Manager. Now, there are a bunch of plugins that come automatically. I have a few of them uninstalled, disabled, because I don't need them running. I don't shoot Canon, so I don't need this Canon running in the background. I've disabled Aperture because I don't use it. So you can go in and turn these on or off just by clicking on them and clicking disable if there's ones in there that you don't need to be running. Now, so if you go to the Facebook one, you will see that you will get something that will look like this, and you will need to enable the plugin if it is not enabled already. Then it will show up here, and it will probably say not set up. And what you need to do is just click on it and click Edit Settings, and you will get this this version of the Lightroom Publishing Manager. When you're setting this up for the first time, you can just click on here and it will take you to the page. If you are setting up a second version of a publishing, you just right click and choose Create Another Published Service via Facebook. Facebook being the name of the service that we're using. I'm going to call this one Pure Simple FB Page. And you will need to authorize the app. Now, all you do is click Authorize on Facebook, and it will take you over to Facebook. You have to sign in. I've already signed in, and I've already done that because I didn't want to have to put my password in while you guys are watching me. So that's it. So as soon as you have this authorized, you can change the account if you need to change it at some point, or you want to use a different account. But this is my main account. And so you can go then to Facebook Album and tell, basically you're telling Lightroom what album you'd like to publish to. Now, when it says album, it will give you a list of all of the albums you have on your personal page, which is great. I often like to just put it in timeline. I like my photos showing up in the timeline, and then I can move them into an album later. But especially when I'm posting business photos, I like them to go into the timeline. So that's me. Now, and then you can go here, go to album. That will open Facebook and it will show you what you have. If you want to make a new album, you can totally do that too. The other thing that's interesting here is this is the new part that wasn't here before, where it says non-user album. And if you click there, you will find these other interesting things, and you see that it's got the same thing, timeline photos, but this time it's got bracket Pure Simple Photoshop. That's because that's the web page, or that's the Facebook page that's associated with my personal page, but that's my business page showing up. And here, Chill Photography's business page, that's my shooting, where I shoot page showing up. And some other websites that I work on for some other people. So what's really neat about this is now I can click this to go timeline photos for Pure Simple Photoshop, which is great. So that's what I'm going to do. Facebook title, you can leave this. This is what it names your file as in Facebook. I like to leave it blank. But if you want to use the title or the file name as the name of your file in Facebook, you would definitely do it there. Renaming, I like renaming files. I like my files to be custom name /sequence, and I like to know where this came from. And so I do this. I call my file names my business name or my personal name, and then a sequence. And then if anyone snipes the file off of my website, it's going to come up with that as the file name. So there's that. File settings, 80% is good. We don't need to do 100% JPEGs to Facebook. 80% is going to be plenty good enough. Image resizing. Facebook has a bunch of different numbers out there right now that they're all over the map for what their best size is. 960 happens to be one of them. So 960 works, and 960 works well on Instagram as well if you're going to move things from one to the other. The other size that works well is 2048 on the long edge. 960 seems to be working for me, so I'm just going to leave it at 960. If you use sharpening, you can totally add it here. I never do. Metadata, I remove the person information and location information, and on Facebook, I just leave it as copyright only. And watermark, I watermark because I want people to know where this file came from. I also use it as advertising. I don't watermark so people don't steal my photos. I watermark so people go, ooh, hey, that's a cool photo. Let's hire her. All right, so that is it. So now I hit save, and over here, we will now have a new one. See, it showed up here, Pure Simple Photoshop, timeline photos. So to add things to your new collection, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. The first way is you can just grab it and drop it onto the collection you want. See, so now there's one in there. You can click on the photo, right click where you want it to go and add photo. The other way you can do this is if you right click on your collection, you can click on set target collection. And what that will do is all you have to do is press the letter B. So I can click here and press B, and it will add it into my collection. If you're actually on here and you press B, it actually takes it out of the collection. You know, it's a toggle. It's if you press it more than once, it will take it in and out. Now, when you have target collection set, that means you can actually go and go anywhere in your work. You don't have to have collections open. You can just have, wherever. I'm going to randomly grab a couple things. I'm not going to be posting some of these because I was just goofing around and I don't know which of these are any good. I haven't done any editing on the vast majority of these ones. I think that one. All right, so if I go down now to publish services and I look, I now have 4 photos that I've added into this timeline. All right, and so to publish the photo, we just hit publish. And you'll see that it says updating. Dun, dun, dun. And if I pop over to Facebook and go into Pure Simple Photoshop, I'll find that I just posted a photo to Facebook. So that's how publishing services work. Now, I find it really useful, and hopefully you will too. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye. There's one thing I forgot to show you, and I just wanted to add it into this. Once you have set up a publishing and you want to select and make another collection in this grouping, you can just click on here, right click, and go create collection. And what will come up is the create collection dialog. We can call this collection whatever we want. So let's say I'm going to call this one, I don't know, before and afters, because this is my, there we go. If I had a photo selected, I could just include it at this point. I can set it as target collection at this point if I wanted to. And then I can go in here and create a new album if that's what I'm doing, or I can go down here and use an existing album. So in this particular case, I do actually have an existing album. I have one called Retouching that I can use. I could use maybe profile pictures or whatever I wanted to do. So let's say I'm going to do this as this one, and then I can just hit create. And that will automatically put this in here as a second collection. So you don't have to go through the whole process of setting this up every single time. You only have to do that once. When you want to add a new collection or publish to a different album in your Facebook, you can do that by just going create collection and telling it what album you want it to create in, or make a new album. That's totally doable too. All right, so I just wanted to add that. Thanks. Bye.
If you want to learn more